what we can expect, what's happened to date and going forward. Griselda, very good morning to you. And again, thanks for chatting to us. Let's go back. Just remind us of what's happening. Let's talk about the charges that there are against Oscar Pistorius now.
Well, a very good morning to Leanne. Well, basically, Oscar Pistorius is facing 4 charges here. 1 relating to murder and 3 counts of contravening the Firearms Control Act. Well, the murder charge relates to shooting and killing Reeva Steenkamp on Valentine's Day, and the 3 accounts of contravening the Firearm Controls Act. 1 relates to the ammunition that was allegedly found at the scene of the crime, where investigators allege that Oscar Pistorius did not have a permit for the ammunition that was found at the scene. The second charge relating to contravening the Firearms Control Act relates to an alleged incident that took place where Oscar is alleged to have fired through an open sunroof somewhere near Modderfontein. The state basically arguing that Oscar Pistorius has no regard for the law and basically doesn't know what to do before he discharges his firearm. The third charge relating to the contravention of the Firearms Controls Act relates to an alleged incident that took place at an upmarket restaurant somewhere in the Sandton area, in the Melrose Arc area, I beg your pardon, where Oscar is alleged to have discharged a firearm under a table, almost allegedly hitting his friend. So basically, that's where these charges stem from. 4, 1 of murder and 3 relating to the contravention of the Firearms Control Act.
Okay, all right. Now, let's talk about the proceedings today. What time are we expecting Oscar to actually arrive at the court, and what time do proceedings begin?
Well, Leanne, we're not expecting Oscar Pistorius here for at least the next 2 to 2.5 hours. Well, the court is expected to get underway at 10 o'clock. But what is for certain is that Oscar Pistorius will be flanked by his family, as we saw during the bail application. His entire family was here showing support and also basically consoling him during the many times that Oscar Pistorius broke down during the bail application. We're also expecting the family of Reeva Steenkamp to come here today, and basically Reeva Steenkamp's family will look at Oscar Pistorius for the very first time, to stare him in the face, the man who they say is responsible, according to them, for brutally killing their daughter. So we're really out here outside the North Gauteng High Court waiting for all of that to take place. We're not sure what time the Reeva Steenkamp's family will arrive here, but it's definitely about to be very tense inside the court as the 2 families take different seats inside the court.
Yeah, I can imagine that atmosphere is going to be exceptionally difficult at a time like this. But just in terms of the proceedings and how things are going to get underway, does the entire case open with Oscar actually pleading? Is that how it actually works this morning?
Well, that's what's expected to happen here this morning, Leanne. Oscar Pistorius is expected to enter this court with a plea of not guilty, reiterating the assertion that he made during the bail application, where he says he shot and killed Reeva Steenkamp, thinking that she was an intruder in his Pretoria home. So those are some of the proceedings also relating to the 2 assessors, which will be made known this morning with regard to this particular case. So that's what's expected to take place here this morning, and we're not sure what time proceedings will adjourn, whether it will go on during for the rest of the day, or maybe perhaps even adjourn after lunch, once the NPA, when we spoke to them, said they presumed that Oscar Pistorius might plead today.
Okay. Now, in terms of the investigation, and the investigation has been fast and furious, and one imagines that it's been quite a rigorous process. But the one thing that's getting a lot of attention is Oscar's phone, and that was taken over to the headquarters of Apple, and they were trying to get the PIN to unlock the phone. Anything about this? Has this been spoken about at all, or is this now really under wraps and being sort of whatever happens behind those closed doors happens?
Well, absolutely, Leanne. You know, very crucially, if I could just explain to you what the issues here. We've spoken to a number of criminal law experts who will also run the SABC through the case as we do the several crossings. They'll give us some expert opinion. What they're basically saying is here, there are two elements of crime which will take center stage at this trial. One is that of the criminal act, where Oscar Pistorius does admit to shooting and killing Reva Steenkamp, but of course, I must remind you again that he says that it was a mistake. And the other issue pertains to criminal intent. Now, criminal intent will then unpack what Oscar Pistorius' state of mind was when he fired those 4 bullets through the bathroom door. What was Oscar Pistorius thinking at the time that he did that? And very crucially, what will take center stage here and basically what the case will be argued on is the issue relating to the forensics as well that were found at the scene. The phone that you speak of as well, very crucially, that investigators, as you mentioned, went to the United States to go and get a password to Oscar Pistorius' iPhone. So all the details that will come from the blood spats that were found at the scene, Oscar Pistorius' phone, Reva Steenkamp's phone, those are really issues relating to forensics that we're really going to be looking at very closely as this trial gets underway. And a lot of people are saying that is what's really going to open really a can of worms, if I might, about what really happened on that day. All of that expected to emerge inside this court here behind me.
All right. Griselda Lewis, thank you very, very much for chatting to us. We will be talking to you again throughout the day, and certainly cross to you at the 7 o'clock news to find out any more. Well, you can see behind there is just loads of people and loads of journalists from all over the world that have gathered there to tell the story of Oscar as it unfolds, but also an unprecedented ruling allowing a lot of the case to be broadcast live. So that's something that we certainly are going to be looking at very, very closely. Well, just I suppose an interlude. I'm trying to keep things not necessarily so serious, as because it is a serious morning. I'll just throw in some Oscar winners as we go along. I've just seen now, and this is making me very, very happy, that the Best Actress Award went to Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine.